Hey everyone, I'm Etienne from Etienne's Foods, and today we're making Caccio e Pepe pizza in the wood burning oven by Stilo. And I'm going to show you the pizza dough recipe that's changed my life. So, Caccio e Pepe, what on earth is that? Well, it's actually a typical Roman style pasta dish. Typically to the Italians liking to keep things simple, it really has Caccio e Pepe, basically cheese and pepper. And generally, because it's Roman, the cheese is pecorino, sheep's milk pecorino, and it's served with a fresh pasta or a spaghetti or something like that. It's absolutely delicious. But the biggest trend at the moment in the pizza world is making a pizza, reinterpreting the pasta dish on a pizza, on a Neapolitan style pizza. And if you look on the internet a little bit on YouTube, and so you find of the greatest chefs, the greatest Italian chefs, pizza chefs doing all sorts of things with it. So my version is based on Daniel Uduti's method. He's from Pizzana in LA, and it closely resembles his, but it has a couple of my own twists. So how are we going to make it? We're going to start off with mascarpone. A lot of chefs will use ricotta, but sometimes it's hard to find a good quality ricotta. So I've gone with mascarpone, and half a tub of that. This recipe will sort of do three to four pizza bases. And generally you don't want to eat the same thing over and over, so you mix it up. Half a tub of mascarpone, half a tub of double cream. And why we've used double cream here is because the thinner sort of pouring cream can split under when it gets very hot, and in the intense heat of the pizza oven we don't want that to happen. So we've got double cream. That does mean though that you've got to thin it a little bit because it's a bit too thick, and I don't have a quantity there. I use milk, but basically you want it to get to the consistency of a medium custard so that it spreads nice and easily. But I'll show you in the video when I make the pizza. You'll see the consistency of the base, and then it gets a cup of grated sheep's milk pecorino. That's the version I use. I love it. It's closer to the original pasta for me. Some people use Parmesan, and you can do that, any hard Italian cheese, but try and get the best cheese that you can. There's so few ingredients here. Each one really will sing if you use a good quality ingredient. So that's what goes into a blender. You blend it up and you wait. You put it in the fridge and leave it till you're ready to build your pizza. When your pizza comes out, you'll see you smother it in the pecorino again, and then in the pepper. It is Caccio e Pepe. You've got to be heavy-handed with the pepper. Be as heavy-handed as you like, and leave a little bit of a pepper grinder on the table for those that want it even more black. It's an unbelievable pizza. My pizza dough recipe, I'll put a link up to the video on YouTube where I learned about. I've been following both of these YouTube chefs for a long time, and they're fantastic. And we've just used local ingredients, and my flour of choice nowadays is Millstone flour. They've got the Farina 00, which is, as far as what I know, the only true 00 flour in the country. It's locally milled, but it's a really high quality, high protein content wheat that gets used. They've got that, they've got the white bread flour, got cake flour, they've got a bunch of others, brown bread flours, whole wheat flours, and it's just amazing. If you bake bread, if you make pasta, if you do anything like that, these flours are incredible, and they really perform the way you see flours perform when you watch the guys do it on Instagram, and you get those same results because of the quality of flour. So I'll put a link in the description below. Hit them up, send them an email, ask them where's the product available near you. It's definitely worth the extra effort to get this flour. Okay, so for the pizza dough recipe, got a new one, and we're using a new flour. I'm using this 00 flour from Millstone. It's great stuff. Their flours are incredible. It's locally milled here in Durban, and it's really good stuff, done to an Italian standard, and the quality control is great. I really enjoy using it, especially for pizza. But we're going to use two different versions of their flour. So what I did, I started off similar to the other recipe with the poolish that I made last night. It's 200 grams of water, 200 grams of this 00 flour, 5 grams of yeast, and 5 grams of honey. I mixed it up, left it on the counter for about an hour, and then it's just been chilling in the fridge overnight. You can leave it for up to 24 hours, but don't leave it longer than that. But overnight, sort of 16 hours, that's the right time for it. And that's your yeast, you know, that's your thing that's alive, and that's going to make that your pizza dough rises really well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. I'm making it in my stand mixer today. If you want to see how this is made by hand, then I will put a link to the original video by the maestro himself, Vito Jacopelli, and you can go check it out on his channel, exactly how he makes it, and then just substitute the local ingredients for the Italian ones, the ones from Italy. This is probably the best substitute that I've found in this country. So in it goes. Then here I've got 300 grams of water, and I've dissolved 20 grams of salt in it. That's going to go in. Just add that to the poolish. Then we've got 300 grams of Millstone's white bread flour. Now the Italians use something similar they call Manitoba flour. But we substitute it here with the white bread flour. It's a nice strong flour, high protein content. In that goes. And then we've got 200 grams of the 00 flour. In that goes. And we're going to mix it. That's why I'm doing it on the stand mixer. If you do it by hand, there's a couple of extra steps, but you can just refer to the video for that. In it goes, in the stand mixer, and off we go. Put it on sort of a medium speed. And we'll let it go for about 10 minutes or until it cleans the bowl nicely and is nice and smooth. Okay, so that's pulled away from the bowl nicely. Let's get it out here. And you can see it's not totally ready yet. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a couple of these slap and folds just to get it to come together nicely. And you see as we're doing that, it gets nice and smooth. It looks gorgeous. There we are. Gently, we're just going to sort of gather it a little bit. There we are. Not too much. There, we've got a nice tension on it there. Looks very good. Now we'll just take a little bit of olive oil. Basically wet our hands with it. Just sort of tap it on the top there so that it doesn't get dry. And then over we go with a damp tea towel. And we're going to let it sit there for an hour. In an hour's time we'll come back and we will shape our dough balls. Looking good. Okay, let's check this out. There we have it. That's been resting for an hour. And we're just gonna sort of, let's get some oil on our hands. It doesn't stick. Just gather it up. And this is gonna make 4 pizzas. So let's just split it up. Now, there we are. In half that way. That's a bit too much. There we are. And then we'll take it. Just sort of tuck it in underneath like that. Give it a bit of a pinch at the bottom there. It's nice and tight. On top, you can see all that fermentation going on there in the middle. There we go, sort of squeeze it in. I'm going to take it in our pan, sort of put it to one side. The next piece, same story. You can see how nice and smooth it is now. We just want to keep that top side on top. Pinch it down at the bottom, yeah. There we go. Same thing. And we're going to sort of keep sort of a 4-finger space, because it's going to expand in our pan. And so this will make, as we said, it'll make 4. Let's get that in there. Place them out nicely, that critical sort of 4-finger gap, so that they can expand. And there we have it. We'll leave these for an hour to 2 hours. I'm going to cover it with some cling wrap, and we're going to get our oven lit. I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so let's chat a little bit about how I set my pizza oven up for pizza. So I put the fire starter just to one side for now, okay, because I'm wanting to make my fire directly on the pizza stone. And the reason for this is I want those stones to get nice and hot. There are a few things more important when making good pizza than making sure that the base of the pizza cooks properly. And for that you have to have a hot pizza stone. So we're going to make it on the pizza stone directly. I find it useful to get these sort of small logs from my wood guy. They're great. You don't have to make too big a fire. This is quite a big fire. This oven's quite efficient. And we're going to make it directly under the chimney. So it's positioned directly under the chimney and across those 2 stones. We'll light the fire and then you'll see what I do. Right, I always make sure I've got a bit of kindling, because you have to keep that flame going inside the pizza oven. So you've got to have some kindling. It can catch light quickly and it gives you that flame. Make sure you got this handy, because that flame can die out quickly and then your pizza won't turn out the way you want it. So our fire has nearly burned down. Before it does that, it's done the job now of heating up these tiles to a great degree. We're going to take it and we'll push it onto our fire rack. There we are. All the fire goes onto there. And we're doing this on the opposite end of where the chimney is. Okay, then we're going to turn it around. We've just scraped the fire onto it. Turn it around so that our shield is in place, and put it at kind of a 45-degree angle towards the one side. So at the back, you can open up, feed the fire, and add another 2 of these logs on. And now we're going to let it get up to temperature proper. And let it do its thing. then we have the oven coming up to temperature nicely. But we've got to clean it up. You can't put the pizza on that. So got one of these old funky things that I used to clean my brow grid with, and an old tea towel that I've wet. And we're just going to take it and quickly wipe these pizza stones clean. Nice and proper. We're going to use these two front ones. Get that out the way. Make sure you use an old one because your wife will kill you if you use a new one. In fact, this is the dedicated one for doing this, as you can see. And we just want to get all that sort of dust away. We've got a nice clean surface for our pizza now. And you can see we've got a nice flame going in the background. This pizza oven is perfect. Close it up. Okay, these little pizza doughs are looking amazing. Get them cut open here. They're really looking good. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're not going to open them up completely. We don't want them to go dry. So we'll take it away. Let's get some flour down. Let's do it this way. There we are, you can see them. Let's adjust this a little bit. There we are. You need one of these. Oh, it's sticky in a bit. Let's get it. Get some flour on it. Nice and positively. Oh, it's so fluffy. So much air in it. We want to try and keep that air as much as we can. Tricky stuff. Let's go. In it goes. And you got to try and remember which side is the top, because that's the side it's going to go on the bottom, believe it or not. Okay, so we've got this. Now let's go. A couple of fingers, flour on them. Just want to get those are going to burn, those bubbles. The rest of the air you want to keep in the pizza crust. There we are. Turn it around, and that's the last time we'll turn it. Just sort of get it spread out. I'm not a master of stretching pizza, so if I can do it, literally anybody can do it. What are we going to do now? We're just going to get rid of this flour. So when we're doing our final shaping, we don't want too much flour on the bottom. That's going to cause your to burn in the oven, because remember, we got that stone nice and hot. And there we have it. Man, I'm excited. This is looking good. So let's go in with a little bit of our cream. You see, there's the consistency you're looking for. That's what it must be. Just sort of like a nice thick cream. Down we go. Sort of 2 spoons of that. And then carefully we'll just work it out. Exactly the same as you do a tomato sauce. Work it out from the middle all the way to the edges. There we have it. That's a delicious base that. Now we're gonna take it as is. Let's get it onto our pizza peel. Stretch it nicely, make sure that it covers the whole pizza peel nicely, nice and round. This is a nice full-size pizza. And now we're going with our cheese. Remember, your mozzarella, sort of baton size, 8 to 10 millimeters by 8 to 10 millimeters. That's important, else it's going to really burn fast. So on we go with that. Basically, your measurement, your two ends together, that should be enough. Enough cheese, 1 or 2 more pieces. And we're done. A little bit of olive oil. And we're gonna go in the opposite end. We've got the flame going this side, the chimney's on that side. That's where we're going in with the oven. I'll take you around there now. You can see that crust puffing straight away in a couple of seconds. That's because we've taken the time to get that pizza stone hot. It's looking amazing. Okay, I'll come back now. Okay, there we've got the pizza in the oven, bubbling away. We've just got to turn it. Give it a turn. Make sure it cooks evenly. There we go. This will take a couple of minutes max. But look at that crust. Man, that looks fantastic. So we're getting some color over there. That's what you want. Gooey in the center. Crunchy on the sides. Check the bottom, how's it doing? Ooh, that's looking good. That's what we want. No soggy bottoms yet. See that flame at the back there? That's important. Without that flame, you're not going to get your pizza done properly. Just turning it every couple of seconds. If you close the door, it goes quicker. But it's hard to show you when the door's closed. Let's take it, lift it up. The hottest part of the oven. Right under the chimney. Make sure you get some good color on it. And there we go. Pretty gorgeous, gooey center. Crunchy exterior. All right, there we have it. Now, We've got to put a heap of pecorino on. Now's not time to be shy, because this is Caccio, cheese, and Pepe. So let's get a whole bunch of pecorino on there. Fresh pecorino. Oh, that's looking delicious. And pepper, as much as you can handle. I like it properly peppery. And there we go. Ooh. Paula's hunting around here. There you have it. Check that crust out. All the bubbles in that crust. Light, soft, crispy, delicious. That's going to be amazing. Caccio e Pepe pizza in a wood burning oven by Stilo.